What's up, everybody? You know, last year I did a review, not a review, but I did sort of a suggestion deal, and you can find this on my BW Rosas 98 channel. Well, I made a suggestion of certain games and movies for AVGN and Nostalgia Critic to review. Now, Nostalgia Critic, I pointed out some movies he could do, and some he might, and some he may not. We don't really know. But there's one movie in particular I'd like to get his opinions on, and I recently posted this on his message board under the future Nostalgia Critic request, you know, where you can request like certain what movies and series you would like to see him review. And one of them that I would like to see, in the one movie I'd like to see him review, because I just recently discovered it myself. I mean, I really didn't know much about this movie, honestly. I mean, I'd seen the DVD for it in stores when I was living in Kansas, like in Hastings and in Blockbuster, but I really didn't know much about it until I just looked online. Well, it wasn't I looked online. What it was is that one of the people I subscribed to is known for doing like his fake openings or fake movie trailers and stuff like that. You know, like fake openings for what should be animated or live-action series. And this person I subscribed to, did one on Sonic's Freedom Fighters. You know, that series that was proposed about a year or two back by that former writer of The Simpsons. Well, anyway, the person I subscribed to took that concept, or took that idea, and decided he was going to make a fake intro or opening for the Sonic Freedom Fighter series that a lot of fans I know would like to see happen if it's still out there being discussed. You know, not being in limbo, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I didn't really know about this until, like I said, I saw this fake intro, if you will, for the Sonic Freedom Fighter deal. And I saw it, and he said he got the intro part, you know, like the clouds and everything, and then the narration at the end. He got that from a movie called Rock and Rule. Now, I didn't really know about Rock and Rule, so I looked it up online, and apparently it was an animated film made by Nirvana Animation back in 1983 and released theatrically here in the U.S. and in Canada. Now, of course, Canada has a version that's about 3 minutes longer. Here, we get a 78-minute version. Now, I downloaded possibly the U.S. version through Windows Media Video. And even though it's 175 megabytes long in size, I'm not sure if I got the whole thing, but still, I looked at this and I said to myself, this looks pretty interesting. Especially since, you know, I saw what he used, seeing as though he used the beginning of it for this fake intro, this fake opening. So I looked into it again, like I said, and I read about it, and I said, this looks interesting. I might want to check it out. So I downloaded it, like I said, and so far what I've seen looks really interesting, looks really good. So I'm going to check out the rest of it. But again, the reason I want to see Nostalgia Critic Doug Walker do a review on this film is I'd like to see what his reaction is. Because we haven't really seen him do a lot of reviews on movies that kind of use special effects and animation effects, if you will, that are ahead of its time. Movies like Animalympics, Fliex The Cat, and even now this one, Rock and Rule, all have CGI, almost like CGI animation that's ahead of its time. I mean, it's the kind of CGI animation that you now see in regular 2D animation. But this is like ahead of its time. So it makes me think perhaps what his reaction would be. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, what about the Jetsons? Yes, the Jetsons had CGI animation. Yes, Great Mouse Detective had CGI animation in it. No doubt about that. But these movies that I'm talking about, Animalympics from the 70s, late 70s, early 80s with Rock and Rule, Fliex The Cat, 1987. Evan, well, that probably is an exception, but still, the ones I mentioned in the earlier portion of the 80s decade and late 70s, who would have thought that? Who would have thought that these would have that kind of animation? And still, I would like to see him do, but overall, again, I'd like to see Nostalgia Critic do a review on Rock and Rule, and you know what? I'd even like to see him do a review on Animalympics. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see, in fact, the three I'd like to see him do a review on are Animalympics, Fliex The Cat, and Rock and Rule. And if I was to add two more in there, I'd like to see him do Transformers the movie, 1986 version, and G.I. Joe the movie as well. I'd like to see those get made. Those kind of review shows get made, because I'd just love to see his reaction to all of them. I mean, I don't know what his reaction would be to, like, the first two I mentioned, but still, I'd like to see it. Another one I'd like to see him do as well, but, you know, apparently from what I've heard, there's only one person on the site that does it, and he hasn't been around in a while. But one movie I'd like to see him do, and make an exception for, would be Revolutionary Girl Utena, the movie. That's right, I'd like to see him do a review on that. I mean, I even requested it on his forum. And some people said, and I even said, I was just joking around thinking, you know, because I saw one of his reviews that kind of drove him over the edge, or characterized drove him over the edge. And I thought to myself, I wonder if this movie would do the same thing to him, if not worse. So I would like to see him make an exception for that one, Revolutionary Girl Utena, the movie. I mean, I could just see his reaction to the part where Utena gets turned into a car. I mean, I'd love to see his reaction to that. But anyway, that's all I'm going to say as far as requests goes. But those are my requests and ideas for Nostalgia Critic Doug Walker to do. If any of you here on YouTube are close to Doug Walker or close to Nostalgia Critic Doug Walker, let him know about the request I gave. Let him know some of the other requests people are talking about on his board in here on YouTube, and let's see what he does. Until then, I'll talk to you later. God bless. Peace out. I'm out.